Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update for this fine Monday morning. This fine Monday morning, the start to the new trading week. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So Bitcoin at the moment, as we can see, is currently under at the underside of our resistance box, the basically 57.5 to $58,500 region. So this is, if we break through here, then we will be looking very, very good, very bullish. It would be incredibly bullish for us to break through this now on the first pass, get above 58,500 and consolidate above there. For that reason, I just can't see it being the most likely scenario right at this very present moment. So we're kind of at one of those good old inflection points at the time of recording the video, as we do seem to be on occasion. But yeah, so we could realistically be seeing a rejection from here. That rejection could take us back down to, it could take us at a minimum, I would say, down to low 56,000s, but I would probably be targeting this our 55,000 level, basically, that we've got drawn in, which is basically the middle of this range. Obviously getting down there, getting supported there and coming back up, then we can talk about a higher likelihood of us blasting through this new resistance, old support. But like I said, I mean, that is kind of like we're going to go down, we're going to go up, then we're going to keep going. We don't really make those kind of predictions. We just trade the level to level with what we see. So yeah, I mean, I am obviously erring on the side of we are potentially going to get a bit of a sell-off from somewhere within this region, from somewhere before 58,500, but that doesn't necessarily have to happen. Like I said, we could just be incredibly bullish and catapult our way through. We'll have a look at major markets, see if they're going to give us any indication, but we are at a very nice level for a potential pullback to basically about 55,000, but we'll see what happens. I know these are quite specific predictions that I don't normally make, and I'm not necessarily this is going to happen. It's just this is kind of what it kind of looks like would happen. But if we do blast straight through and we do get back above 58.5k, then that obviously invalidates any sort of a real pullback at this point, and we're likely gonna get back over 60k, potentially even 62k pretty quickly after flushing out a lot of over leveraged longs. And also the market manipulators are grabbing themselves a lot of liquidity, so they will literally mark the price up and try and give nobody a chance to buy in. So then anybody that does want to buy in then has to buy in once you break deep into the 60Ks, and they can then start unloading their bags that they managed to accumulate on this pull down. So we shall see if that is to play out. Let's have a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. It's just great to see this is holding. Lots of volatility in Bitcoin, also to the downside volatility, and Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. Ethereum is basically holding lockstep. So that is really what we want to see, because historically, when Bitcoin has got moving in any direction, either be it up or down, then obviously not sideways, so not any direction, not sideways. Sideways is not really a direction, is it? Price goes up or down, but yeah, sideways. And if price is going sideways, it's not moving in theory. So there we go. But yeah, so any directional movement up or down in Bitcoin has seen a sell-off basically in the alts, and particularly Ethereum against it, and we're not seeing that. So that is good, because it's not to say that once Bitcoin does start to consolidate and trade sideways, and Ethereum can get going again. But you can obviously, this is a clear indication of strength in the Ethereum market, that basically people are still basically not dumping it and moving, not fleeing into Bitcoin, basically, because that is obviously the mechanism for which altcoins and Ethereum struggle when Bitcoin is either going up or down. Either they fly into Bitcoin because Bitcoin moves faster. Obviously, that's somewhat of a self-fulfilling prophecy, or they fly into Bitcoin when price is going down, because obviously Bitcoin is more of a safe haven relative to the other cryptocurrencies when we are going down. So yes, it's looking good. Basically, we'll look at the USD pairing. USD pairing again, as you can see, this has had a nice bounce. This is, yeah, I mean, back well within this zone. This is a very nice zone, as we spoke about yesterday, for Ethereum to be in. Any consolidation, any sideways in this zone, especially whilst Bitcoin is potentially looking weaker, then that's good to see. And then once we start getting this once the bullish price action resumes, no doubt this will be heading into $3,000 will be the next real target now. So yeah, that's really realistically what I'm kind of looking at there. Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, is relentless. The relentless grind down that is Bitcoin dominance. I mean, I was saying we're going to get a sort of a pullback at some point, and we did get a little bit of one, and now we're resuming back down. I mean, this is not really the pullback I'm talking about. We are at some point going to get a pretty, just a bigger pullback, basically. Maybe back testing one of these levels, but we shall see. We shall see when that'll come back and when that'll come and what level it'll come at, because realistically it's got to happen round about where we are now, because if it doesn't and we lose basically what I have as this trend line and this horizontal, both of these levels, then I think we could have a pretty catastrophic move to the downside. I mean, and that is not to say that can't happen. Markets don't carry on trading within, if we just go to the daily, don't trade within these patterns forever. And we have been in this in here for quite a while, albeit this little this move above. So realistically, we're going to break either to the upside or downside. I mean, this just looks so much like a textbook swing failure above. Once you get back in, I mean, I will have spoke about this concept before. Once you then swing failure, will break back in, you literally target the bottom. And I was even talking about this when we were here, saying, look, we're targeting the bottom, and that's literally where we've come. And now we got the opportunity to break out the bottom instead of the top. And if we break out the bottom, yeah, it's a free fall. And what could be a catalyst for this? I think it could be the whole Kusama Polkadot ecosystem. As that starts to get going, the parachains go live, they start to eventually have the dot parachains, and that ecosystem starts to get going, because don't forget there's nothing going on those chains yet. They're not live. Once they start to get going and those ecosystem coins really start to get going, and money starts flying into them, then yeah, that could literally be the next driver. That could be like a big, I mean, you have Bitcoin, you then have Ethereum as the next major place where people involved in crypto put their money. Then you have all the other altcoins, and then if we have like a new sort of main, like, I wouldn't say it's like an Ethereum competitor, but like like an Ethereum alternative, then that could then start to attract a load of capital, and so all I'm really saying is that could be the catalyst to drive this down as that Polkadot ecosystem grows. Basically, it could be where a lot of the altcoin value is going up and then driving it down against Bitcoin. So we could get a catastrophic. That's obviously the wrong word, because it's by no means any sort of a catastrophe. It's like, it is the opposite of a catastrophe. Like if the whole crypto ecosystem is diversifying away from just Bitcoin, then it shows that obviously there's a lot more going on in the ecosystem, and that's obviously a good thing. So catastrophe is the wrong word, but a cascading downwards, because that just describes a directional movement, doesn't it? Catastrophe obviously has negative connotations, but yeah, either way, that's what I think could be the driver down of this. Is the whole Polkadot thing, the whole DeFi thing, just generally has obviously got legs. It's got room to run. It's got room to run to literally take over the whole world financial system, possibly, but it certainly has room to run from the level that we're at now. So, and obviously DeFi is not on Bitcoin, so DeFi is on Ethereum, and Polkadot, will be on Polkadot, and all these other things. It's not on Bitcoin. Therefore, the market share of all these other ecosystems within cryptocurrency as a whole can start to clearly outperform Bitcoin, which would mean that Bitcoin Bitcoin will, which means the Bitcoin dominance will come down. So yeah, you get a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists will just end up being the Peter Schiffs basically of the crypto world, saying that you should only buy Bitcoin, and same way that Peter Schiff says you should only buy gold. Whereas everyone will just be making like money hand over fist elsewhere. Hopefully, because that's what I'll be trying to do. That will be the game that I'll be playing or still playing. DXY, obviously this is going to decide whether Bitcoin has that extra little wind in its sails. And as you can see, we are now losing that level that I told you about, that for me is the turning point for this medium term uptrend, and that medium term uptrend. We are still only marginally through this candle, but I think in Friday's video when we're looking at DXY where it closed, I say, look, this is obviously looking like it's going to come down and take this out and come down. So now we've now lost these levels. So yeah, I mean, to me, this is looking like we are now in a medium-term downtrend, and I won't be the only person looking at it that way. So people will start to position accordingly. People that were long will start to basically take off their longs. People that are wanting to short and are waiting and now are probably going to start shorting. And that's how markets work. And we should then start to see momentum to the downside now. Obviously, we've got a lot of like support in this area. Support just on the base of just previous price action, so levels, etc., that offer support. So but obviously once we get through this zone, get down to below here, and obviously most certainly below here, then we will be making our way down to the 88s, and yeah, and everything will be looking well, probably good for all our assets priced in dollars. But yeah, I mean, this 4-hour candle is not closed yet by no means, but yeah, we are looking very like we are gonna come lower in this now. So that is good to see, because it is not, put it this way, it's not going to be a downside for Bitcoin crypto. Obviously, stock market's responding to this as well. You can see blasted through our 1.618, so looking good here. I mean, this is just a textbook, as you'd like. Descending, broadening wedge, breakout, pullback, back test, forecheck, back check, paycheck. I mean, this is just the sort of stuff that if I was to write a textbook, I'll just be like, here we go. And when you looked at it, we had it all drawn in. We looked at it all in real time as well. So we're not just looking at it after the fact. Let's also, anything else we want to look at? Yeah, the 10-year, as we also said, that is looking, it was looking bearishly postured, like it was going to test some downside. We have broken below this level, back tested it. I mean, forward check, back check, we're now in a pay check back to roughly a 1.4. Well, there you go. I say 1.45 just for this, but it's not a 1.46. But anyway, we're going to come back down to this horizontal and then decide, have a bounce off there, and then decide what we're going to do. But yeah, we could be seeing this easing off a little bit. So that obviously is going to be, these things are kind of correlated at the moment. This DXY was going up. Sorry, the DXY was going up whilst the 10-year yield was going up. So obviously, as the yield on the currency was going up, the value of the currency was going up. So obviously, that's kind of how that was working. So is this going to start coming down as the value of the dollar comes down relative to other currencies? Maybe. But either way, we are looking now that this uptrend is in the medium term is potentially over. This would be my main point for then. If we break below here and close below here, then we will be on a medium term downtrend, looking for basically the next support level that then reverses to the next medium term uptrend again, wherever that may be, because we may just, I mean, if we look at a larger time frame, let's just go over to a 2-day. Maybe we've just come in to backtest these levels, and we're just then going to come back down and make new lows into deeply negative territory. There is the whole, obviously, the inflation and deflation argument out there. All I will say about the inflation and deflation argument is that when I say I'm expecting cryptos, gold, precious metals and things to go up, and that's obviously saying there's going to be like an inflation. There's basically, you get inflation and deflation in different places, and clearly I think we're going to get inflation in things like those, and food and things like that, and precious metals, and also crypto, as in their prices will go up. But I think we're going to get deflationary forces on basically a lot of other asset classes, such as potentially bonds, but also mainly I think property is the main one, and then also the stock market, companies and stuff. I think there's going to be a lot of capital destruction in there, which is deflationary. So yeah, it's like there's basically, it's not like a one size fits all for deflation and inflation. Some things will inflate, some things will deflate. I mean, that's just the way it is. So yeah, that's basically all I really wanted to say there. Is that, yeah, we like in reality, I think that deflation is going to be the main thing that happens, because a lot of bubbles in the world, stock markets and property mainly is what I'm talking about, are propped up with basically all the money printing, and then those bubbles are going to deflate. But obviously other things may still prices may still go up in those, as they just become a more of a hedge against basically a system that is clearly under duress. So yeah, let's have a look at anything. Well, is there anything else to look at? Yeah, Dogecoin, just for the sake. Just look at it, guys. This is wealth creation right here. This is good though, because at the end of the day, well, I don't even know if it's good or not, but all I will say at present, this is a lot of money that people are making in crypto, and a lot of that money will stay in crypto, and a lot of money has come into crypto, and it will then find homes elsewhere. So whilst ever basically the flows, I mean, this is trading, investing, finance, and making money in markets. All it comes down to, in reality, at like its bare bones level, is capital flows. So as long as the capital flows are positive into the cryptocurrency market, which I think there will basically be ad infinitum, basically forever, just as we move away from finance 1.0 and the centralization of finance into decentralized, just cryptocurrency, then I think that the flows of funds are basically going to be coming into crypto. So yeah, I mean, as these funds are flowing in, people are buying Dogecoin. When they sell, when they make these profits, some of that will obviously go into other cryptos, and it's just good overall. Overall, as a whole, it's like, is Dogecoin the gateway drug into crypto for some people? I think it may be, and then they'll start to look at other things. So yeah, I mean, I have had people ask me about Dogecoin, message me and ask me about it in the past when we had our previous pumps. But yeah, I mean, I actually even said to them, we've had a pump, I think it'll retrace. It's probably not great to buy, but I hope they didn't listen and just went and bought, because they would have done pretty well. But yeah, like I said, it's all about if this is what is attracting funds into crypto, that will then go into other parts of crypto, and then will introduce people to crypto, and then start to look at other things. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So that's all I will say. It's not necessarily a bad thing. As ridiculous as it is. So yeah, let's go and have a look at the stochastics now. Obviously the market's clearly listening to what I'm saying. Look, it's now deciding it wants to come down from this level. No, not really. It's not listening really. But let's have a look at the stochastics. Are they saying that this bounce is a bit tired, and we can potentially start to turn it around, and then test maybe that 55? 4 hours not telling us that. 4 hours looking good. To be honest, I think these slower time frames will potentially be looking okay, but we'll see what the 10 hour. Yeah, 10 hour is starting to turn up from a low base. Often, I mean, what I will say is, when we see, like here, when we see 10 hour turn over from low base, it can often then turn back over, have another test below, like as we saw, a test lower, and then start to make the move back up. So maybe we will get that read. But at present though, 10 hour is turning up. 12 hour looking to turn back up as well. Daily still diving. The rest of them are potentially still going to be diving. So we have got the higher time frames diving, but I would just look to them as indicating consolidation within this larger area, and the lower time frames turning up. But yeah, like I said, they are only just starting to turn up. They're by no means running to the upside, giving us upwards momentum at present. So there is plenty of ability for this market to roll back over, backtest somewhere within this in this range. I would guess around 55,000, and then really start to turn them back up and get going to the upside. That would be my guess. But like I said, if they do get going, if those 10 hour and 12 hour and daily, what was it? Wait, I just forgot how the daily was looking. The daily was it? No, the daily was still diving. So yeah, the 4, the 10 hour and the 12 hour do start to get going, and especially when they turn over that daily, then I think that will be our major buy signals. So so far as if you were just trading stochastics alone, that's what I'd be waiting for. I would be waiting literally for this this daily to turn back up, and then it will be all systems go. And then Bitcoin price wise, I suspect would be somewhere within basically between 52 and 58. And then yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. That is kind of what I'm thinking. Do I think the top is in and we are now going to come down? Like no, in no way, shape or form do I think that, because this is not how markets top. We don't get a rounded top and then basically come back down. We get a big massive below off top, and I know that obviously if you look at it like on a monthly, yeah, obviously it's looking very well, to be honest, it's not even looking very blow off toppy, is it really? It's looking quite nice and orderly. So actually I will take that back, what I was going to say. But yeah, on the daily, if we go back to the daily, I mean, you can see how we're sort of rounding off at the top, and that's not realistically how markets top. It's how they could potentially put in a medium term downtrend again. So maybe we could come down and test even down to about 40k. But I would suspect we wouldn't want to see us go lower than 42. But yeah, we could come back lower in this medium term and then start to turn back up and then have another catapult to the upside. So yeah, I did waffle on a little bit in that video, so apologies for that. I also have been consciously making the effort to not say as much, and I know I am still saying it, but I'm hopefully not saying it as much. So there we go. So yeah, thank you for listening, guys. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new trading week. Hope we all have had a great weekend. I did loads of gardening this weekend because it just had to be done. So I'm glad that's done and dusted. I've got loads of self-harm looking type scratches all over my lower legs from some very prickly bushes that I've had to cut down that obviously were scratching my legs. So hopefully they'll heal quick. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and I shall speak to you all soon.